to the Businessmen and Women of Color podcast. I am your host, Ann Austin, and it is once again my pleasure to bring quality programs to all of you. I am excited again. Oh my goodness, it is so many people. I'm so excited that in 2019 we have over 50 or close to 60 people here on the podcast, just holding it down again in 2019. Last year we had 75 participants, and the year before we had 65 participants. So no matter how many people we have on here, it is definitely going to be a lot of information that we're going to be sharing this year. We also want you to like, share, and vote for your favorite podcast participant, because we have 7 awards up for grabs for competition for anyone that is trying to win Best Author, Best Motivational Speaker, Best Exciting. You know it. You read it right there on the website. So if you like this podcast and these interviews, make sure that you like, share, and vote for your favorite so that they can compete for one of the awards. Just in case you want to know what we're about, the BMWOC is an organization that unifies people from around the world about all of the things that we're doing in our career and business. So therefore, it's a lot of information that you should be checking out on not only the 2019 season, but you should also check out 2016 all the way up to 2018 to get that information. So we're definitely going to be doing that, and check out all the pages and posts. Everything you see here, just check it all out. You won't be disappointed. Now, before we get into our interview today, we would like to take a moment to thank our corporate sponsors, who are My Financial Home, Evangelism Radio, JNF Enterprises, Sears Consulting, Autism Families Rock, Awakening to Love, Eli Natoli, Kimberly McLemore, True Synergy, and Platinum Financial Services, along with all of our other participants who is helping to make this season a huge success. So today we have another young lady here that is just doing her thing out there. Her name is Kyesha Williams, and she is a serial entrepreneur, founder of Wealthy Women Elite Consulting. She's also a business beastie and a mentor to millennials, entrepreneur women, and teens from Minnesota down to Texas. She was also born in St. Louis and is a firm believer that as women, we look good and you feel good. And when you feel good, you take over the world. That is her mantra as she works to help people understand what they need to do, along with her other products called Creative Love, Level Up 21 Days to Sex Boot Camp. And she's going to be talking about all that stuff because I want to make sure I get it right. So we're going to welcome to the podcast, Kyesha Williams. Kyesha, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much. That is like a huge introduction there.
Well, you know what? You know what? People give me this stuff, and I like to make sure that people understand what you're trying to do. And we're going to get into the creator of Level Up 21 Days to Success. I'm glad I was able to get that, and it sounds very exciting. But before we do that, let's get right into your background, where you're from, and what was your interest when you were an adolescent growing up?
Yeah, so I was born in East St. Louis, which is on the other side of the river of St. Louis. And St. Louis and Illinois is like, I don't want to say like a war zone between the two cities because of the name, and then where the line is from Illinois and Missouri and all that. That's a whole other story. But I was born in East St. Louis. I moved to Minnesota from East St. Louis. My family, my father moved, myself, my mom, and my mom was then born with my younger sister. At the time for a better lifestyle, to be somewhere that they felt was safer and had a better educational system for us when we were kids. So we moved to Minnesota, and after, let's see, I'm the oldest of 4 girls. So when I was growing up, I was always the influencer, and whatever I did, my younger siblings, they tend to just, copy me. And of course, I would be the one to get in trouble for everybody's mistakes because of that. So even being a younger kid, my idea of an adult, what I wanted to be was a surgeon. As ironic as that is, I wanted to be a surgeon.
Mm,
I love like bloods
okay.
and guts. I love to just, I do. I
Oh.
love to just be the main focus of the room. Someone who didn't have to say much, but knew what they were doing, and because of that, had much respect. So I knew early on that I didn't have to say much in order to captivate a room, to be someone who everyone respected.
Okay, and so what kind of changed your mind from being a surgeon? I don't know if I love blood and guts though, but you know what? I understand you had that interest, but what changed your mind from going in that direction?
So as I got older, a lot of things tend to happen. So my parents split up when I was in eighth grade, and during that time, my younger siblings went with my father, and me, I went with my mom. So I was the only one in the opposite side of town with my mom, and my siblings were away from me. So I was kind of going through a hard time, and I wanted to, sneak and see them, and but my parents weren't getting along, and it was just a whole hot mess between them. So during that time, got into I got into like, different friendships with different people, and I thought about what I can do to keep my mind occupied. So I worked at the Mall America here in Minnesota, and I worked at what was Camp Snoopy back then. And after work, I would tend to still, be kind of bothered. So I would braid hair out of my room. And when I would braid hair, I would get, cash in hand right away versus that paycheck from the mall. So when I started to get that, I thought to myself, okay, if I can get cash right away, that's my first taste of entrepreneurship. And I knew that this is what I really wanted to do. It'd be like
Mhm.
super fast, really
Mhm.
easy, and I was good at it. So
Wow.
that kind
Okay.
of changed my mind from, okay, I can do the surgeon thing for, years upon years of college, or I can just go ahead and get money right away, quick and easy.
Okay. I think a lot of people want to get money quick and easy like that, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that it just sounds like you were just ready to just plan out what your future was going to be. So you knew that medical was going to take a while, but just doing what you were doing to get the money fast so that you can build your future was also good planning as well. And so, what other things that you did also that helped you in that process?
So after a while of doing that throughout high school, my senior year, I got pregnant with my oldest daughter, and that was like a bomb had went off because I couldn't figure out how me of all people ended up pregnant. Like I was a good girl, I got good grades, I was in AP classes, I played, whatever sport you could put me in, and I was very much a people's person, but I just wasn't. I don't know. I didn't hang out too late, I didn't hang with the wrong crowd. I wasn't really into doing the wrong things or just, being a follower. I just kind of did my own thing. So it was kind of a shock when I ended up pregnant with my oldest. And I ended up having to not walk with the rest of my friends. I graduated the summer after everybody else graduated,
Mm.
in June. So I had to go to summer school, finish all my credits, and when everyone was walking the stage, I was holding my newborn at the time. She was only a month old. So I was holding her and watching my friends walk, and I was thinking like, okay, this is not the way I pictured my life. I had just got a full scholarship to Louisiana State, and I couldn't go because I had this new baby. And I honestly thought my life was ruined, but at the same time, I knew that there had to be more. Like, I have a
Mhm.
higher purpose, So
Mhm.
I end up when I went to summer school my senior year after everyone walked, I ended up getting another full scholarship to a private college in Minnesota called Dunwoody. And I went there for architecture and drafting, and then that first year I got pregnant again.
Oh no.
I know. So I got pregnant with my second child, and she ended up
Mhm.
having some complications. So I ended up dropping out of
Mhm.
school. And long story short, 22 years old, three kids under three, and
Mhm.
decided to go back to school. I'm like, okay, this is happening too fast. What is going
Mhm.
on? Life is
Right.
crazy. Let me take my butt back to school. At least get my degree. So I went back to school. I got my associates, and I got it in the medical field. As crazy as that is, but I went and got
Mhm.
my associates. Never practiced my degree, but did a lot of other hospital jobs, customer service, and things of that nature. So I got to the point in my life where I wasn't making ends meet in my household. And I was working, but it just wasn't enough. And my kid's father, he was active, but he wasn't active to the point where bills was getting paid. So I thought about what can I do to make enough money for my bills to get paid. All I wanted was to cover my rent. That was it. So I thought, oh, okay. I have friends that go out every weekend. I'm gonna open an e-commerce. So I hopped online,
Mm,
went on YouTube, figured out how to start up a e-commerce, a website, and
mhm,
literally follow a 2-hour video for about a month, and I got it together and built my first
mm.
website following a YouTube video about clubwear. I built the website. I called it Diva Couture, and it
Diva
was,
Couture.
clubwear. Yep. I had clubwear. I
Oh.
had glasses, accessories, just all of this stuff. I'm thinking, okay, I have friends that go out every weekend. This is gonna be easy, right? I got this. I can make this little money. So
Well, you
I
know what?
ordered.
Before you go into there,
Uh
I
huh.
kind of want. First of all, let me just kind of like digest a lot of that what you just said. First of all,
Yeah.
I just want to first of all applaud you for the fact that you never gave up to go back to school, regardless of
Yes.
what happened, regardless of why it happened. It was a detour, but you never gave up and you went back. And that is the most important thing, that you didn't just say, okay, I'm just going to have kids and that's it. I'm not going to do anything. That you literally went back. And that to me, hands down, standing ovation for
Thank
you to do
you.
that. And then just listening to you, how you're saying, okay, I ran into a roadblock, so now I know there's going to be more, and you planned for it and you did it. A lot of
Yes.
people don't do that, and I want people to hear what you just said, of all the things that may have happened to you. And you have things that happen that are bad, and things, well, of course, what happened to you was, good. You have beautiful children now, right? But you didn't
Mhm.
allow that to stop you in your effort. So now I'm going to let you continue your story because I think it's amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. So yeah, so I ordered a bunch of supplies and I'm thinking I like all this stuff. It's going to just sell easily. And I get them and I put them on my site and it's crickets. And I'm thinking, okay, what's the problem? Like I know people want this stuff, but in my mind I wasn't thinking as the business owner. I was thinking more of like the consumer, and
Mhm,
really picking things that I like versus what my audience would like. And
mhm,
it comes with practice. Nothing tends to happen just from, you know, yeah, I took that inspired action, but I wasn't taking it in the proper way. I didn't have the guidance that I needed, and it really came from after experiencing what I needed to do in order to attract who I wanted to buy my items. So after that, I'm like, okay, what can I do? I'm online. I'm putting stuff on Instagram and Facebook, and I'm posting as these top dogs, not knowing that my audience think I'm a robot 'cause I'm sounding like them. I'm not talking like Kyesha. I'm talking like, Amazon or something. Like, this doesn't make any sense.
mhm,
So
mhm,
once I figured out, let me just be me in these posts. Let me use the slang that I use on a day-to-day basis. Let me
mhm,
actually put my foot in my magic into my business. That's when things started really to boom. So
mhm.
I started doing my surveys, which I still love to this day. I love doing surveys and really asking people, what do you like? What do you want to buy? How do you see yourself in this outfit? Would you wear this? Like, what would you wear this to? And then getting my sisters involved, having them be models, and I have a million cousins. I have my cousins come over trying on things, and that's how that word of mouth came. And after that, I was able to make rent, and that's all I wanted to do.
Whew, wow. Oh my goodness, you got me speechless over here. I just can't believe how much effort, and you pretty much said everything that I think maybe 90% of what people have said in their interview, is that one, you have to know who you are marketing to. to understand how you're going to make sales. That is critical for any small business, and just learning from your mistakes and making the adjustments that you need so that you can make your rent, make your money, that, as you so put it, because a lot of us don't do that. A lot of we just
Mhm.
put it out there, and we're trying to sell. And one of the things that you said that also resonated with me is that you recognized that you was not making the human connection and the relationships with people because you were so busy trying to do the post based on what you thought everybody liked, as opposed to just being yourself and being
Mhm.
being the brand and representing the business. And we literally was talking about that in a roundtable that I had last night, where we were talking about how we have to have the human connection and build that relationship in order to make that sale. And it seemed like you found that very quickly just
Yeah.
by doing what you're doing. So after you then did all of that, how did Wealthy Women's Elite Consulting come into play?
Yeah. So after that, after doing the braiding, after doing the online boutique, I found myself in another rut because I ended up getting overwhelmed with the boutique and I let it go. I didn't know what I was doing. I'm like, okay, this is cool. I made rent. That's all I wanted to do. I got another job now. I'm good. I wasn't thinking big back then. And I honestly feel like when you ask God for whatever it is that you want, you get. So when I asked God to help me pay my rent, he helped me, pay my rent. That's all I wanted. So because I wasn't thinking in a bigger picture, or in the masses, I wasn't receiving that. And once I was, becoming to a point where, okay, I'm making my rent. That's all I wanted. And I'm going to go back to work. Exactly what I did. So I ended up finding myself in a place a few years ago where I was like, okay, I want another side hustle. I don't know what it is I can do. Let me hop on YouTube because YouTube is bae. So I hop on YouTube and I'm looking at lash extensions. And I'm like, oh, lash extensions is something super dope. I don't in Minnesota doing lash extensions. So then I ordered a kit on Amazon. I get out the little strip lashes, I start practicing, and I call my sisters, like, hey, let me practice your lashes. Long story
Mm,
short, I started doing lash extensions for about three
mm,
years,
wow.
and I became the lash girl in Minnesota who would travel to. I was a travel lash tech, so I will go to your homes. I will set up my bed, put you to sleep for 2 hours, wake up, beautiful, bam, you got it, you everything, right?
What?
And then, and then I heard that they're gonna start regulating it in Minnesota. So because they were
Hmm.
regulating it, I'm like, let me go back to school so I can at least have my aesthetics, the certificate, so I don't have to, get in trouble with the
Hmm.
state for practicing. So that's what I did. I went back to school, got my aesthetic license, and was doing that. And then I moved to Texas, and my clientele was gone.
Oh no.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I moved to
Well, because you
Texas.
had to build a new clientele once you
Yep,
got over to Texas.
yep.
And so now, were there a lot of travel lash technicians there in Texas, but when you got there?
Um, Not that I know of. Everybody that I knew in Texas, they were stationary. So they
Mm-hmm.
had either one of those salon suites or they
Mm-hmm.
were working inside of Amazing Lash. Companies like that that had kind of
Yeah.
grew over the past few years.
Mm-hmm.
They were working in places like that. So I thought, well, I can maybe get a job at one of those companies and do something else on the side where the kids are at school, but our situation wasn't the best there either. Ugh, goodness.
Wow.
Anyway, one day my father approached me and said that he wanted to start a food truck. And I'm like, okay, well, I can help you, do a food truck. That's not a problem. Let's do the research. So we're online. We're figuring out what other food trucks are happening or what they have in Minnesota, and who his market would be to, and what kind of food he wants to sell, and what would be the proper price point, and how can he get funding for it. And we broke down an entire business plan, and he just so happens to already have the funds that he didn't really need to get a loan from the bank or from anybody else. So we got it popping, and food truck turned out to be a huge success. And
Nice.
I got approached by someone else who wanted to start a cleaning business. So they're like, "Well, help me with this." I know, right? I'm like, "Okay, I got
Wow.
you." So I'm helping people start their businesses, and then it
Hmm.
clicked. Like, wait a minute, you have something now. People are actually asking you because they've seen you do so many things. From braiding to the online boutique to the lash technician. Like, you've done so many things in your own ventures. People are seeking out your professional advice. And I didn't even realize that that was like a thing, you know? And once I realized that, I'm online. I'm like, oh, I can actually be this person. I actually
Hmm.
know what the hell I'm talking about when it comes to
That's
this.
great. But yeah, look what have you done so far. Oh my gosh. I mean, I was like, wow. I was waiting for the next like business venture to come up because I was like, she is doing it. And so, of course, the Wealthy Women Elite was born from
Yes.
all of that, right? Just helping
Mhm.
people get their business going and figuring out what they want to do. And then once you have it going and it's rolling, then you move on to your next client.
Yep, exactly. That's exactly what it
Absolutely.
was. And it's crazy how the universe works. The way that God works is like he put me in these positions to not necessarily be in lack, but to have a process of this is the end because you're so much brighter than where you are right now. This is just a stepping stone to get you to where I need you to be. So it's like realizing those things and seeing the whole time what I was going through was getting me to where I am today. And that's truly amazing.
Okay, fabulous. And so, what is Level Up 21 Days Success Boot Camp and Young, Confident, and Paid about? Is
Yeah.
that a book
So
or is that like a course?
those are courses. So the Level Up 21 Days to Confidence, that is a course. 21-day course is on Facebook. They both are on Facebook. One is a paid program, the other one is a free one. So the 21 Days of Confidence, that is within a private Facebook group. It's very intimate. It helps women to not only build their confidence, but build motivation and inspiration in their business and in their everyday life so that they can, so often I see women who say, I don't have the support at home to follow my dreams. And I'm helping them to gain that support within themselves and to go seek those other women to support them. Because so often we start these businesses thinking that someone at home is going to support us or our family's going to support us, and that's not the case at all. Not till we start, really making an impact or making money. That's when they see our potential and they start to believe who we truly are because they've seen us from years and years before. They don't know that what our potential is until we do it. So that's the
Hmm.
21 days to success, and then the Young, Confident, and Paid. That's actually a 4-day free boot camp, and with that one, it is a really quick breakdown to help you gain clarity in your business, not only clarity,
Hmm.
but to help you hopefully collaborate to level up your business. I'm huge on collaboration. I really honestly believe that
Hmm.
without collaboration, you don't have anything in your business. And I was telling you earlier how I have the Wealthy Women Wednesday
Hmm.
Facebook Live every week. And without that, I would not be able to grow my business at all. Like the power of
Hmm.
collaboration is everything.
Absolutely. That is my ultimate favorite word in all the world, collaboration. And my second one is partnership. And my third one is growth. Um, so I have a number of words that's on my top five list. You know, um,
Mhm.
it's definitely something that will help your business grow for certain. It is one of the key things that I think for any new startup is being able to collaborate with other organizations and be very transparent in your intentions and what you're trying to do so that people see not only your business, but they see the credibility behind it, that they see the consistency, and they see that you're out there really making a difference. Those are the things and qualities that I look for when I'm trying to do collaboration with other organizations. And it has helped my business tremendously. Okay,
Yeah.
tremendously. So I applaud all this stuff that you're doing. So now that you got all this going on now, Kyesha, Okay, what events do you have going on now that people can get engaged in, or maybe they can come to you and get some training courses? I know you just talked about two, but do you have any specific ones that are coming up in the next few months?
Yes, I actually on both of those. So I have a signature course that is coming out in 2 months, and that is Resigned to Riches. Is the name of that program. It actually helped me to transition from my 9 to 5 into working full time in my service based business comfortably. This past summer, I had to go back to work because I was working full time as for myself, but I wasn't working in a way that was sustainable in my business. So I had to figure out a way to scale my services and be comfortable enough to leave my 9 to 5. And I figured out a system that I applied to myself and I worked through myself. And I know it works because I'm full time again. I'm full time again. Um, as of last
Mhm,
week, by the way, I'm full time again. So,
mhm,
and then also I have a couple of events. It's a series of events across the U.S., eight
mhm,
states altogether. It's called Afros and Mimosas. And that
mm,
is a 2 day event. So there will be a VIP night and then there will be the Sunday of the actual brunch,
mhm,
and that's going to be held here in Minnesota in August, and then it's going to run through next year. So we have Minnesota, Houston, Texas, Atlanta, Georgia, Jacksonville, Florida, LA, New York, South Carolina, and Chicago. So I'll be
okay.
doing all of that.
Nice, 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 nice. Now, for the first event that you have that's talking about helping people transition from 9 to 5 to full time, is that going to be a virtual event or is that going to be in person?
That is online. So that's my online coaching. That is a 4 month program to help you make that easy transition.
Okay, absolutely. And we'll definitely make sure that we have Kaisha's website here on her page. So if anybody is interested in finding out more about that, that you can click on the page and just check it out and reach out to her. And so for the final, before I ask you the final question, give out your contact information and your web address.
Yeah, so my website is www.kyeshawilliams.com. That's Kyesha Williams.com. You will find everything on there, the Afros and Mimosas event, the Resign to Riches 4 month program. Everything will be on there. Any anything when you get in contact with me from speaking engagements and all that stuff, it's all available online on my website. And then my Instagram is Kyesha, Kyesha, 2 underscores Williams. And for Facebook, it's just Kyesha Williams, my first and last name. No anything extra for that.
Okay, all right. So I have one final question that I'm asking everyone here on the podcast is personally and professionally, what do you need to thrive in what you're doing? What do you need?
Personally and professionally, what I
Mhm.
need to survive is, hmm,
Or
I
to
would
thrive.
say,
It's not really surviving, but I guess you
okay.
could say you're surviving. But yeah, what do you need personally and professionally for anybody that's listening to you right now?
Personally, professionally, let me see. For me to thrive, I would definitely say I would always need to know that what I do on a day to day basis is enough. So
Mm,
knowing that rather I feel like I had a lazy day or not, or that I didn't get as much done as I wished I would have, whatever I did is enough. And because of that, I have tomorrow and it's always better. So
mhm.
that's one thing.
Nice, absolutely. And so there you have it, folks. Kyesha Williams here talking about how she was able to figure out a formula, wash, rinse, repeat, as I call it, to get herself into entrepreneurship. And she has done it many, many, many times, along with all of the education and experience that she has even before that. So if you're interested in going to any of her events or checking out the online course, again, just make sure you click on her page and check it out. And before you leave this page, make sure that you like, share, and vote If you like her and you want her to win one of the awards, make sure you vote. Don't leave without voting, right? And then also go to the other pages and check out and listen to podcast interviews so that if it's anything else on this platform that can help you with whatever it is that you're trying to do, you're going to find it here in the 4 years that we have the podcast platform. And if that's not enough, make sure you also check out the BMWOC magazine at the BMWOCpodcast.com website that's coming here this year. So thank you, Kyesha. So proud of
Thank
you.
you.
Happy for you. I'm giving you a standing ovation, virtual hugs, because I think you're amazing and I think you're doing some wonderful things. And I want to encourage you to keep doing it.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate that.